Can you give me a little bit of history on the baby?
Sure. The baby is 33 weeks and 1.2 kilos.
Here at Golisano Children's Hospital, this telecart is often used by nurses and physicians to consult with specialists at all Children's Hospital and elsewhere. There's a telecart like this on every unit of every hospital, and some are equipped with sophisticated mobile devices like stethoscopes and other types of monitoring equipment. You'll also find virtual health technology in the neonatal intensive care units, where cameras enable parents to see their infants.
Essentially, virtual health and telemedicine is using technology to expand patient access to healthcare. So whether it's giving access to the patients to see their providers, their caregivers, or it's giving access to the physicians or providers from home, from wherever they are in the country to be able to access the patients.
I was just wondering, before we start talking more, if you had any more questions about that illness.
Dr. Rolando Gonzalez is a pediatric psychiatrist who uses virtual health technology to consult with patients at home, usually speaking with the parent and the child separately.
It truly improves access to care. It gives you options and ways to access multiple providers. I'm a psychiatrist, and I know for a fact that there's just not very many of us that work with kids. So you have this opportunity to see somebody, from the comfort of your home, or from the school classroom if that's something you're comfortable with, and we can actually get started with care right away versus waiting 3 to 4 months down the road.
So we implemented the system of telemedicine in the doctor's office about 6 years ago. And then recently with COVID in March, we dramatically expanded the system, ripped it out, put a brand new system in that would allow not just a couple providers to connect to patients, but every single, physician throughout the health system. So the reason behind it was, due to social distancing, PPE conservation, being able to connect patients to their caregivers so they can safely isolate at home and still receive, their care, their follow-up care or urgent care, whatever it was, to be able to access, healthcare.
Dr. Margie Morales is a pediatric neurologist who treats children with complex behavioral and development disorders like autism spectrum disorder and cerebral palsy.
Good morning, Mrs. Perez. Welcome back. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, Dr. Morales. How about yourself?
Good, good. Is Miss Julia going to join us?
She wants telemedicine to remain as an option for patients even when the pandemic ends and traditional office visits can start again.
Initially, during the months of the pandemic, the early months of the pandemic, everything was telehealth. I was actually more productive during telehealth. And I think part of the reason is because we could stay connected with patients that could not travel and could not, pay out of pocket to be driven to their medical visits. So it allowed me to be connected with our patients. It allowed me to continue to manage our patients, prescribe medications.
So the future of the technology is really extending the diagnostic capabilities, extending, what's connected. So as you move into, the home, area, we're building out remote patient monitoring, which allows, wearables and technology like a blood pressure cuff to connect back to that physician. We start to look at the data and get real-time data, and so we can react more proactively instead of reactively. That's really the future of healthcare delivery as we move into, away from the, bricks and mortar building into the home and where the patient is.